Hello, and have a wonderful start to a week for you today. This is Career Coach Mo Fall. I'm coming to you live today. If you're with me live, I'd love to know who you are. And if you're one of my clients, just let me know that you're here so I can say hello. I am America's career coach and creator of the Kick-Ass Career Workshop, where we help professional women get promotions, salary increases, land new jobs, no matter what the economy is doing, all without working harder, playing office politics, or being inauthentic. As a matter of fact, if you're a professional woman who knows you deserve more fulfillment, more recognition, more money, I want you to keep listening. You're in the right place. You know, we women are wired from the very smallest age of our lives to pay attention to what other people need and what they want from us. And it's frankly the way that estrogen helps wire our brain as girls. That happens age 0 to 2 in a pretty dramatic fashion, so that by the age of 2, we are hardwired in our brain anatomy to pay attention to what other people think and feel around us. Now, there's nothing we can do about that. Estrogen does its thing in our body, and it's helpful for us to be aware of that so that we don't overreact to some of the things that cause us not to make the best decisions for ourselves. Today, we're talking about success requiring decisiveness. And if there's anything I've learned from not only being an executive for over 30 years, but being a career coach now for nearly 10 years, is that women might have situational decisiveness, but ladies, come on, we got to step up to the plate and own a bit more decisiveness. I'm going to explain about decisiveness today. I'm going to talk about it. If you're a professional woman, you want to lean into this. It will change your week. It may change your life forever. To lean into how to make decisions better for you and for your life. And I talked just a little bit earlier. I mentioned one word, and this is a buzzword that women feel very tied to, and that is being authentic. Women must feel authentic, mustn't we? If we're not in alignment with who we are and what we're all about, we get weak. Frankly, probably all humans get weak from some level to some level or not. But frankly, the male gender doesn't need this as much in order to take action in the world. Again, it's part of what makes us different and humans. And if you want to study anything about this, the book, The Female Brain, written by a psychiatrist, I'm blanking on her name. I wish I had it, but just Amazon or Google, The Female Brain, you'll begin to learn about some of the things that we have to navigate differently in order to have the life, have the career, and have the soul that we really want in life. And again, hello, Martha. If you're a client of mine, I would love you to say hello. If you're not a client, tell me who you are and where you're tuning in from. And for those of you who like my work and you want to share it, please do share this video. Share it amongst your friends, relatives, because here's the thing. If we're stuck, if we're not where we want to be in life, if we're not in that authentic zone of who we know we should be, we're probably feeling like there's options that we can't pull the trigger on because we might feel powerless. When we feel indecisive, we feel powerless. And when we feel indecisive, it's usually because we're afraid of making a mistake. We don't trust ourselves, or maybe we don't trust the other people around us. And this creates this indecisiveness that not only kills your future, but it begins to erode your soul and your sense of self. Every single week, we talk to literally hundreds of women about their careers. My team is standing by, mofall.com/live clarity. Book your call today. Talk to one of my career breakthrough strategists. We know exactly how to help you out. But I want to say this to you. The women who we speak to on our calls, and this might be you, you're good at what you do, whether you're an accountant, an engineer, an attorney, marketing, healthcare, nurse, a physician, no matter what you do for a living, IT, tech, artificial intelligence, data scientist, educator, no matter what you do for a living, you probably got the content of your profession down pat. You're probably good at making decisions in the zone in which you have your expertise, but perhaps you've lost that sense of self and confidence outside of your zone of content expertise. And in order to get ahead in your career, you've got to have that sense of self confidence outside of the content of your career. You have to expand your sense of self in order to be decisive on managing department, talking to your boss, talking to your colleagues, showing up more powerfully in meetings, saying what you're really thinking and knowing is true so that the entire team and company gets the value of what you're thinking. So many women we work with aren't speaking up because they're not sure. And the last time I spoke up, I was told not to. Every time I speak up, someone takes my ideas. I don't have time to worry about that. When I speak up in a meeting, I then get volunteered to be on a project. I don't have time to do that. So I've just shut myself down. And shutting myself down is a protective mechanism. I'm protecting myself from any other further workload because I can't take on more. And why is that? Because you're also perhaps indecisive about using the resources around you, asking for help, or delegating properly. These are all things we take care of when we work with our women in our kick-ass career workshop. Not only are we going to help you bring your soul back to life, which brings your confidence to an all-time high, our clients tell us that they've never felt that good about themselves. And just a few days in, because we get started on that part right away, that immediately begins to help you feel better about yourself as a human. I'm going to say this. How much is that worth? Feeling better about yourself as a human being. I mean, whew. And we do have a magic formula. We do have a proven magic formula because the way I work with our clients, my team and I, our process is bringing the soul back to life so that you can then speak up better, so that you can make decisions that might be outside of your professional expertise, but that are required for your career growth. I just spoke to a woman earlier. She's a systems engineer, and she should be making $30,000 more a year. She's been sort of stuck underemployed for about 7 years because she made a pivot back into her career after many years doing something else. But she keeps settling. Keeps settling. Why? Because she doesn't know how to have that powerful career. And she's afraid that if she says the wrong thing or asks for too much, it's against her value system as a trained professional woman. And it's against her value system because she thinks it might be greedy. She thinks it might be ill received. And she's afraid of being thought negatively by asking for more. She doesn't have the tools or the confidence at the soul level. This is why she's stuck in her career. And look, 7 years making $30,000 less is $210,000. So what is your indecisiveness costing you? I mean, that's a big amount to pay for indecisiveness. That's a huge ticket to pay for indecisiveness. Oh, Julie, you're a nurse, blindside laid off last week. mofall.com/live clarity. Let's get you taken care of. Yes, you have a lot to gain by getting decisive and moving forward on the next thing. I don't want to downplay getting laid off. I've been laid off, laid off 6 times in my career. I don't brag about this, but I say it to say that this is sometimes the exact kick in the pants that pushes us toward the thing that we were fearing or perhaps being indecisive about all the time. Or perhaps the blind side. I can't see what they saw, or I didn't see it coming because I wasn't paying attention in a big enough viewfinder, which means Perhaps you were in fear mode. Perhaps you were chronically stressed out and you didn't see things the way that they were actually unfolding around you. Either way, Julie, I want to help you do what you want to do and love it again. And I want to help you not be lost. So let's book a call, mofall.com/live clarity. And you're not alone. I will say this, of the 1,300 women we've helped over the last almost 8 years now that I've been doing this work, I would say a good 1/3 of them have been laid off, fired, or quit. Because here's the thing, so many women have said, all I want to do is quit my job because I can't take it for one more minute. And that's not always the best strategy, because if you do that without a plan, if you do that without the confidence of what's next, or without the support system to help you move forward, you're going to be in a lot of shame. And Julie, again, not to single you out, but hey, glad you're here. When you lose a job, there's shame, embarrassment, fear, overwhelm, anxiety, all that bucket of powerful emotions can really feel like it's eating you up and causing you to go astray, not believing in yourself. And that's the first thing we do when we work with our clients, is we bring their soul back to life, bring it forward. Because the gremlins that are going to eat you alive, ladies, when you're indecisive or you don't know what decision to make, those gremlins will win if your soul's truth and your soul's power is not at a high enough level for you to know who you are and what you are in the world. This is the very first thing we do, and it's one of the biggest reasons why women don't succeed in their careers, because the voices out here have too much control. The external events have too much control. And whether that be the things that you're responsible for as a woman in the world, or whether that be a negative experience in the external world, either way, those external inputs can really throw us off course, because your soul's truth is a whisper. Even when it's powerful, even when it's fully filled up, it's still just a soft voice. And that's why it's so tricky sometimes to tune into it, because the chronic stress and the chronic treadmill of life has so much noise and chaos and calamity associated with it, that we don't have that we are not in touch with that soft whisper of our soul. And again, that's why that's the first thing I take my clients through, is to dive back in to the interior self. Dive back into getting to know yourself at that level. Helps create that space where you're able to say hello to not only yourself and your soul, but your divine connection that fuels it all. You are a part of the creator, and you are capable of crafting and creating your dreams. But so often we're like reading books and we're watching Facebook Lives, maybe going to conferences, and it's all well and good theory. But how do you put that into action? My clients know how to put that into action, but not many people are teaching how to take the soul, how to take my spiritual recovery, how to take that interior, beautiful sense of self into some practical strategies so that I can have a better job. I can speak up at work better. I can land that next level of job. I can advocate for my promotion without sounding greedy and arrogant. How in the world do we pull those two things together is our secret formula. And that's why we work with certain women who we know we can help, because our secret formula is a treatment for a lot of women who are not where they want to be in their careers. It's not a treatment for everyone. And there are women who we are not the right solution and we cannot help. And when we can, we move them into another direction, another coach or some other strategy. It is really important. If you're not where you want to be in your career, ladies, if you're a professional woman with some education, some expertise, some experience, and you're like, why is this only resulting in this job? Or I just lost my job, or I just quit, or I want to quit. If you're in a toxic environment and you're feeling lost, overwhelmed, book your complimentary career clarity call at mofall.com/live clarity. We are here to help you sort it out. It's sort of like going to the emergency room or the urgent care center. If you have a physical health problem, you're going to want to pop into your urgent care or your emergency room, and they're going to ask you questions about what's wrong with your physical body. They're never going to ask you questions about what's going on with stress level, but we will. We're going to ask you questions about what's going on with your life and your career and help understand, pulling apart the layers, what's really going on here so that we can understand it to the level of you getting clarity. And then us as experts, can we help her? Is this something we can help her put together? I often say it's sort of like Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Humpty Dumpty didn't know how to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. But a team of experts came Humpty Dumpty's way and put Humpty Dumpty back together again. And that's what we do. There's no shame in falling off the wall and breaking into pieces. The thing that I want you to appreciate is you need to make some decisions for yourself. What's important to you? Are you feeling that your life is worth it? I mean, I want you to feel that way. I do. If you're an educated professional woman and you're not where you want to be, there's some decisions that you have to make. I'm going to say something pretty funny. A lot of big success gurus have like one or two things that they wear in their wardrobe. And I think Steve Jobs was the most famous for this, always having the black turtleneck and the jeans. What this was as a philosophy of life is to reduce decision fatigue, because they were making so many decisions during the day. Making a decision with what to wear in the morning just reduced that level of decision fatigue. So there's no decisions to be made about the morning. Always having a morning ritual, which is what I do as well. Always knowing how to run your morning. I speak about this all the time. I went on live a few times last week. Coach Mo Fall Facebook page. You can watch some of my very raw live Facebook around this. When you have a morning routine, you don't have to make as many decisions for yourself in the morning because you set yourself up for success. If you only wear black turtlenecks, you don't have to think about what you're going to wear today. Your decisions then become those things that are really important and crucial for moving either a project or something in your career or in your job forward. But more importantly, the decisions that require your soul and your power are the decisions that you must make to move and advance your life. When was the last time you took time to make a decision to move your life forward? When was the last time you put yourself first and said, I want my life to look like this, therefore I must need to do this and that? As we're talking about decisiveness today, success requiring decisiveness, I want to share a few top things I want you to take a look at this week so that you can move your decisiveness needle forward. Number one, you have to know yourself. Okay? That is clear that all good decisions come from knowing yourself. And on my email this morning, I put a woman playing softball. When you're standing at the batter's box and you're waiting for the pitch to come, you got to know what kind of pitch you're best at hitting. You got to know yourself, because the pitch that comes that's not in your sweet spot, don't swing for it. If that pitch is not where you're strongest, it's not your best decision. Just because it's coming over the plate doesn't mean you need to swing. Now, if it's in the strike zone, you may have to swing, but it might not be in the strike zone. Don't get seduced into a pitch that's not your best decisive hit. So number one, you got to know who you are. I think Shakespeare said it, to thine own self be true. So many women don't know who they are, don't know what makes them tick, don't have a sense of reference of this is what I want. So that is the number one thing you have to have on your checklist of being decisive in the way that's going to serve your highest self. Number two, when you know yourself, the second thing you have to know is where you're going or where you want to go. Just like if you started a road trip across the country, if you're like, well, if I go to Denver, it doesn't matter, or Chicago, it doesn't matter. Oh, if I end up in Des Moines, Iowa, it doesn't matter. I'll just like drive. No, you're going to waste gas. You're going to feel lost. You're going to feel crappy. You're not going to be able to execute fully on your plans. So you got to know what's important to me. What do I want out of life? Know the self and know what you want. And number three, you ready for this? This is where I talk about hiring people that are going to help you. Number three, do you have the expertise to get there? Maybe you don't. I didn't have the expertise to get me in a lot of areas of my career. I hired my first coach 22 years ago. I've had a coach every year, every step of the way, because I have wanted to go somewhere I didn't know how to get to. So I hired a coach to guide me. And that is the third thing of being decisive. Who do you need on your support team to get you there? And here's the thing. You need to hire an expert who has been where you want to go. You got to hire an expert who knows how to get you to where you want to go. Because chances are, if you want to go somewhere and you haven't been there yet, it's because you don't know how to do it. Not because you're not smart, but because you don't know how. And again, no shame in that. I didn't know how to do a lot of things in my life, and then I hired experts. Okay? I didn't know how to be a coach and do Facebook Lives. I hired experts to help me. I didn't know how to be a chief operating officer. I had a coach that helped elevate me. I didn't know how to speak in front of audiences. I hired people to help me speak in front of audiences. And I used to have a lot of fun doing that. I didn't know how was a lot of my life, because when I was going to the next level, I didn't know how to get to the next level. If I would have known how to do it on my own, I would have gotten myself there. I got myself a lot of places on my own, but at some point, I had maxed out on what I knew how to get to. So we hire experts. And then the fourth thing about being decisive, are you ready for this? Your ego and your intellect may reject this next thing I'm going to tell you. Are you ready? You got to follow through. When you make a decision, stick with it. But you're going to say, Mo, what if I make a wrong decision? Well, if you make a wrong decision, it's because you didn't know who you were, you didn't know what you want, and you didn't hire the right experts. So if you know who you are, if you know what you want, if you hire the right experts, you got to stick with it. You got to keep going. I've had clients who continue to work with me 5+ years down the road. Why? Because they want to keep going up to the next level over and over again. Our first 12 weeks, we get awesome results. We just recently helped a woman who was not in the corporate workplace for 6 years because she wanted to do something on her own. Frankly, she had a toxic bully environment that she left. 6 years later, she's missing the camaraderie, the projects, the income of her career. She made a decision to hire the right experts, which was us. She then followed our proven formula, and she showed up for herself. She was decisive all along the way, and she landed a fantastic job at $150,000 after being out of the workforce for 6 years. She had the education, expertise, and experience. She thought she was going to have to start from scratch and go back to the bottom. No. That's what she would have done on her own. Hiring us? No. We're experts at how to craft that path back to the highest level. She's super happy. She starts her new job. She's going to be excited. She's going to be making the money that she deserves to make. Knowing who you are is what we do first and foremost in our 12-week program. Knowing what you want is what we do second. So if you don't know who you are and what you want, you cannot make proper decisions. But I'd like you to make a decision to do the third thing, in which is to hire the right experts. And then when you hire the right experts, you have to follow through. You can't just know who you are, know what you want, hire the right experts, and do nothing. Because decisiveness on its own is a transactional situation. In order to have the result, you need to follow it through. Follow it through. You know, poker players have this interesting quote: think long, think wrong. Why is that? Because as a poker player, if you know your skill and you know your talent, you know the best move quickly. And if you doubt yourself, that's when you think long and think wrong. So the reason why most people don't make decisions is because self-doubt is a killer and a crusher of success. Self-doubt will get you every time. But when does self-doubt creep its head in? When you don't feel good about yourself, when you've had trauma or a tragic situation happen, when you're blaming yourself for not being where you want to be in your life. That's when self-doubt creeps in and begins to own you. And now you're indecisive. Because when self-doubt is a bigger measure of how you feel about yourself than your soul, you're not going to make good decisions. So my thing for you today is to know yourself, build up that soul. Number 2, know where you want to go and what you want in life. Number 3, hire the experts who can take you there. And if you're a professional woman who is not where you want to be in your career, I and my team may be that solution for you. mofall.com/live clarity. Book your call with us. It's a complimentary call. We'll talk about who you are, what's going on, and whether we can help you. And number 4, to have the success required requires not just making decisions, but following through. Every single one of our clients who has had an amazing outcome is because they followed through and they followed our process. There have been women who have hired us who have not followed through. I don't understand. We try to help them. We try to shake that out of them. And the very first thing we do for all of our clients is bring them back into their soul, because when you're bringing back the energy of your soul, you now know who you are, and that solves all the rest of the equation. The domino effect is real and it's awesome. Once you know who you are, it's easier to figure out what you want. And once you know what you want, it's easy to say, hey, experts, help me get there. So I want to leave you today with the thought process that if you are not where you want to be in your life or career, if you are not successful to the level that you measure success, if you're feeling internal angst, if you are controlled by self-doubt, you need to up your decisiveness game. And that requires these 4 things I've been talking about. Number 1, knowing yourself. That means bringing your soul back to life. That's what we do first and foremost in the work we do with our clients. Number 2, knowing what you want and where you want to go in life. Again, you may not know what that is. You may not have a big enough destination for yourself because you may only be thinking in the world you know. The finite world does not have all the answers for you. That's why we bring your soul back to life, because this then allows you to see the bigger worldview, and we'll help you with that. So knowing where you want to go and what you want in life is critical. Number 3, hire experts who are going to take you there. And number 4, follow through. I'm going to give you number 5 bonus on this one, and that is to celebrate every success along the way. That helps hardwire the evidence that you can. Success is celebratory. And make sure that you are celebrating along the way. We do this at the beginning of all of our coaching calls. Why? Because it changes the neurochemistry in the brain. When you're celebrating, you're telling your brain good things are happening. And when you see other people celebrating on the coaching call, you're going to actually have more serotonin and oxytocin and dopamine squirted out of your nervous system because the brain likes to see other people happy and celebrating. More, feels good. This is awesome. I would rather you have your brain awash in dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin by celebrating success and by celebrating the success of your sisterhood, which is what we do in our workshop, than to be bathed in self doubt, criticism, fear, all of the nasty, ugly cortisol stuff that ruins your body. It actually ages you fast. Dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin levels help you feel better, youthful, thriving, etc. You can change your own internal chemistry by doing the proper right work with an expert and her team. This is part of our secret sauce. It's not just bringing the soul's energy back to life, but it's also helping teach you and coach you how to change the neurochemistry of your body. How about if anyone taught that to you in 5th grade, right? Wouldn't your life look different now? How about if you have a 5th grader at home, you can come to our workshop, learn how to do that, and teach and coach your 5th grader or your 8th grader or your 22-year-old daughter or your 25-year-old son. These are tools and techniques that every human will thrive from. And success requires decision making. If you need more decision-making horsepower, it's because you need to know yourself better. You need to know where you're going. You need to hire experts to help take you where you haven't been before. And you need to follow through. And when you do, you're going to have success. And when you do, celebrate it. Because the 5th awesome cherry on top success is celebrating success. It is moving your body, your brain, your physiology into success mode and reminding and remembering what success feels like so that when you're going along the road of the next thing that you want and it doesn't feel as good as you want it to, you got to bring that evidence. You got to bring those tools and techniques into the equation. This is what we do. Mind, body, and soul. That triple equation is what life is all about. And if you're not where you want to be, if you're a professional woman who is not where she wants to be in money, in power, in influence, you got to change things up because your way got you where you are. No offense, it got you only here. Let's take the elevator to the next several floors. It requires decisiveness. And this is a big, big deal for the professional women we talk to on our complimentary clarity calls. Let's get this changed for you once and for all. If you're one of my clients, I want to give you a homework assignment. This week, I want you to dive back into your lifetime access kick-ass modules, and I want you to engage yourself in one of the techniques, strategies, or lessons that you have access to. I want you to know yourself at a deeper level, and I want you to make some decisions about where you're going. Brush off that 12-month 8x8 plan and take action for yourself on where you want to go and lean in to the coaching. Ladies, we provide monthly coaching to our alumni group. Yes, indeed, lifetime access to the modules and monthly coaching calls. When you're in the 12-week workshop, if you're a client of mine right now in the 12 weeks and you're listening to me now, I want you to dive back in to the module before you're at the module you're at now. Go backwards and restudy and pick up something more. And show up for your coaching call this week. We are ready to coach you. We are ready to take you to the next level. Every week, progress. Every week, learning about who you are at a deeper level. Every week, learning in a stronger way what you want and where you want to go. Every week, leaning into experts that we are helping guide you, not just on the pathway, but on your resume, your LinkedIn, interview prep, money management, presentation management, everything. Lean in, follow through, and celebrate. Now, if you picked up those 5 items from me today, those 5 items of making yourself a more decisive person, your life can be changed forever based on this video. If you're listening to me later on a podcast, same. Come to my Coach Mo Facebook page and tell me what you decided. Tell me all about it. I would love to hear. And if you're ready to make the changes in real time, if you're ready to up level today, bringing your soul back to life, landing your dream job, let's get you on a complimentary career clarity call. mofall.com/live clarity. And Martha, yes, will do. Always bringing yourself to the highest self. And Julie, we hope to see you in real time as well. And let's make it a beautiful week. I come live here on Mondays to help set your week up for success. Dive in, take action, be that next level you by being decisive this week. I will see you on the coaching platform. Those of you who are clients of mine, I love you. And I can't wait to see that next expression of yourself and your soul. For those of you who are not clients, what are you waiting for? Dive in, land yourself a complimentary career clarity call at mofall.com/live clarity, and let's get things taken care of. Again, those 5 items of decisiveness. Number 1, know yourself. Number 2, know what you want and where you're going. Number 3, hire experts to help you get there. Number 4, follow through. Number 5, celebrate your successes. This is career coach Mo Fall. I am the woman who's going to help you bring your soul back to life so that you can land your dream job and have the career and the life that will delight you and bring you a sense of feeling that you're home in yourself. That is where the best decisions are made, when you are at home in yourself, when your soul and you are so wed together that you are one with all of your potential. Make it a great week. Again, this is career coach Mo Fall, mofall.com/live clarity to book your complimentary career clarity call, and Mo Fall all over social media. Coach Mo Fall. We'll see you next time. Make this the most decisive week ever. Rock those decisions by following my 5 steps, and I will see you on the next time. Have a great week. Make it your best. This is career coach Mo Fall, mofall.com/live clarity gets things started for you. Talk to you next.